Hey everybody, XEI here. It's been a while since we've chatted, and as you can see, or not see, if you've come back to the channel, there are no videos, and the channel is no longer XEI Wave, name subject to change. I have finished Steins Gate on the gaming channel. I did not end up putting it onto this channel. As one idea for the channel I had back in the summer before all the health issues happened, I was going to bring visual novels to this channel as well as manga reads with the anime reactions. As you can see by what you're seeing behind me right now, I have changed the name of the channel back to the very first iteration of a channel I tried to do when copyright chaos was far more prolific. I think it was the end of 2018. I believe I launched with Rick and Morty season 1. I did episode 1 and 2 of Stranger Things, if I recall correctly, and then I got completely decimated. It grew very fast, but I got decimated by manual copyright claims with country blockers, and then I gave up on that channel. And then I tried a couple iterations through the years, and I was actually going to delete this channel. A lot of influences and ideas that come from sources, not just my experiences, but I'm just getting feedback out there, and I'm looking at the way that other channels do things, and I keep going against the grain to some degree, and I never really forget the ideas or the desires I had when I first had them. In this particular case, XEI Reacts was something I wanted to do very early on when I did XEI Gaming. I think it was, like I said, 2018, maybe early 2019 is when I was like, what are these reaction channels all about, And I didn't really enjoy the way reaction channels were done back in those days. Now, they have also evolved over time. Ironically enough, as of last night, I found a few other channels, and I have posted on it on the post section here. If you scroll down, you'll see the first question here. Just letting you know some channels that I found along the way as I was messing around, brainstorming with Grok AI on X, Twitter, and I just got some channel suggestions that sounded like what I don't remember hearing about. Like some of them, just like because like Grok was very good at breaking down why they were being suggested to me. But I was gonna say, but the irony of it all is that stuff that I was basically the production stuff I was doing back in 2018, 2019, 2020, and I think at that point it was the third attempt at the reaction channel, 2021. I think every year I tried to do a reaction channel, and I just got the first few years were just rough because I couldn't get around the copyright stuff, and I was doing things with the way that I would post the videos. Like I have these things called blinders now, which I've seen on one other channel doing now. I saw someone run a timer at the bottom of their video, which I was doing for the Rick and Morty sample or test back in the day. I had some One Punch Man episodes where I had the logo on top of the video that was playing to obfuscate the copyright claim, the thingamajig that detects the copyright detection stuff on the video screens, and I got destroyed for that in the comments. Not destroyed, but I mean I definitely got negative feedback for my approaches and handling of the obfuscation efforts that I went through. And I wasn't trying to do it from an illegal standpoint. I was just trying to do it because I wanted to create content and not have to deal with the very complicated, and it didn't need to be complicated, but it was annoying as hell, the production side of things, when you upload something and then because of 3 seconds the entire thing gets blocked to the world, and it's like, well, now I got to do another edit, I got to get it uploaded. My internet wasn't amazing, everything would take super long, and it's just like momentum would just completely die, And so I was doing these things that made it a lot more natural to record and post things, and it just felt more natural, and it kept some of that vibe alive. It wasn't capturing an audience the way that I was seeing other content do it, and they weren't getting nailed. Now, through the years, because I've always been following this, because it's been intriguing to me from a platform perspective, over the years, I've gone back to some of these old channels, and I go to their playlists, and there's a bunch of gaps in the playlist. That's exactly what I was avoiding. And as a completionist, I wasn't able to accept that in the channel, and I didn't want to scale and then have that kind of stuff happen, and then I would have libraries broken everywhere. And that's what I'm seeing on a lot of those older channels from those 2018 to 2021 era. Back to the irony of it all, I'm seeing some of these channels that are popping off. They're doing exactly the kind of stuff that I was doing to try to get around some of this stuff. It just wasn't landing. And so I keep saying irony. So the irony of it is that if I kept going in the way I was doing them in 2019-20, I might have had a huge library by now, is what I'm saying. So, one of the things worse than trying something and failing is not trying at all and then never knowing, you know. Now this is a bit of a mix of both, where I tried something but I treated it as a failure as opposed to just pushing through it to see what it could have been a year after the fact, right? Like give it some life to see what would happen. Now, I did try to do that with the Naruto delve at one point. This channel, one of the versions of the reaction channel was just like, I'm just gonna do a Naruto channel, and I call it Naruto delve, and that one died for different reasons, and I have that one documented too. And it was weird because it was just flatline. It was crazy, and it was within 3 days of not uploading anything, everything would just die. And so that one became unmotivating because, you know, it was 40 episodes in maybe at the time, something like that, and I got some health thing, and it took me out for 2 weeks, and that's when I saw the dip, and I was like, what the hell? And then I uploaded, I think 12 in a row, and it was like daily uploads or something like that, and I was able to get the momentum back for sure. But then I had to stop again, and then within 3 days, YouTube just suppresses a new channel that's trying to start up, but they're not consistent. And so I do know I have things like that I do not want to trip myself up on, when I bring stuff back online. Everything still exists, and I'll show you right now. There's under playlist right now, so I found like different ways of keeping content on a channel without deleting and having to move it all the time. Like that was its own catastrophe over the years. And the reason for that is because YouTube has a flagging system that if it detects that you have the same content uploaded to different channels, you could get a complete takedown. And this is your account level. This isn't channel level, account level. And so, of course, that made me scared. And so what I would end up having to do is I'd have to delete the content and then migrate it, right? So that there wouldn't be duplicates in the system. Now, I found a way, and I didn't get nailed for it, but I was willing to take a risk. I found a way where you can put a video into private mode, and the private is effectively like you've deleted it out of the YouTube system. And so I was able to preserve the content and the comments on the content and the engagement and all that history. I was able to keep it alive, just hide it myself on the at the channel level, and YouTube did not conflict, or at least maybe I lucked out. I'm not sure. But the point is I kept a lot of it alive, and this playlist is an example of it. Now, I don't have duplicates of this anywhere. I've deleted them everywhere else, but I do have them unlisted now. But you will notice that 1 to 33 are missing at this point. And the reason for that is because I was considering going back to the variety channel idea at the New Year's. Every New Year's, I tried to think about what's the stuff that's failing, right? And I try to consolidate, and then I might have 1 or 2 new projects that start, but I have to kill 4 or 5 of them. So like not everybody sees everything that I got moving on in the behind the scenes, but I'm really just I like to play with ideas to see which ones really stick, not just from how they do on the YouTube platform, but also how I feel when I'm doing them. And I will say right now, between the gaming content, some other channel content that I was exploring last year, and the reaction content, especially from a narrative delve perspective, like a story delving perspective, which Naruto was really giving to me, this stands out as my favorite content. And that's no lie. That's not an exaggeration. The gaming content, maybe it's my age. Maybe it's just like I just don't have it in me to challenge that particular market space, that space of that audience space, you know? I don't have what the youngins will bring to that space, you know? I just don't. And I feel that like health-wise, I just don't feel like I have the energy to be able to pull that kind of content production off while having a full-time job and other half to full-time side projects that, you know, I have investments in, and I really need to, I can't let those fail because there's money attached to them, you know? And they're creative endeavors, and they're like really like they're like dream projects for me, right? So I can't abuse those ones either. But there's something about creating content for an audience to enjoy in that experience that I can't let go of. And so in one form or another, I want to be creating for YouTube. And when it comes to which kind of content do I love producing the most, it's got to be the Naruto series. And I know that it sounds weird because I keep on and offing the series, but I won't watch it alone. That's the thing. I could, I won't do it. You know, I feel like it's something, an experience I want to share, but I also want to learn something while working through the experience of the Naruto series as a reaction series for an audience, you know? So I keep coming back to here. And so as you can see, like I said, 1 to 33 is missing because I was moving it and I didn't want that duplicate thing to happen. And so that's gone, right? But I have these ones now. I have a second problem that has come up, and this is why we're back here again, where I didn't want to kill this channel because deep down I was like, I killed all my alt channels except for this one and my gaming channel and then my personal, like it's like a booktuber kind of channel. But I've learned, but it doesn't seem like it because there's like a lagging effect with the decisions I've made last year. I'm still catching them all up to how I'm moving forward this year, you know? But I just want to share it because I want to be transparent about this kind of stuff, even though it sounds, you know, it's very repetitive. I get it. I get it. And this is why I don't give as many updates as I used to. I just need to figure this stuff out and move through this stuff at my pace. And I do know where the direction is going now. I know I might have said that in the past before, and I did, under the context that I knew in the past. But like, there's different things have happened in my life that I don't have the same inputs, if you will, life signals, if you will, that make me, that are the same reasons. I want to be a little bit ambiguous here, right? Because there's no point in me getting into the reasons why. I don't want to come across like I'm not giving excuses. I'm saying like this is what the plan is, like, and I'm going to move forward, at least attempting it. I want the channel to grow. Here's something I also have to come to terms with, and why I kept on restarting channels is because I have a certain expectation for what I'm producing, you know? And if what I'm producing is not engaging the audience the way I feel like I could do better, you know? But I have to learn how to get there, you know? And part of YouTube is you have to go through the stumbling curve. Stumbling curves, metaphors are all over the place. You have to stumble your way through these learning curves because you have to find out what works for you, not just like what works out there for other people, right? Because that sometimes won't work for you, you know, and you got to find that balance until it feels natural and organic. And so it's just you're giving yourself authentically to the content and the content to the audience. And then that cycle becomes a healthier one, you know, and sometimes that's what breaks down for me is I don't feel like I'm in a healthy production cycle and I know it's going to impact me 6 months from now, you know, or a year from now. Like I got foresight when it comes to planning. That's my real life job kind of stuff. I'm a strategician if the details don't matter, but like I'm very good at planning things, and then time management I'm very good at it, but I have to understand what the design of that strategy is so that I can just be in the design and it just happens naturally, you know? And I do this at a macro-ish level and like with my work, and I've been effective, you know? And so I know it's possible. I know what the pieces are, but YouTube is a piece I can't control. It's not like a project that's mine and I can control it. I can't. Every year it might change something goes haywire, and then I have to pivot, or I don't have to. And I'm kind of in that mode right now. It's like maybe I don't have to, but I have to interpret the projects I do as, am I trying to do this for growth, or am I trying to do this for hobby? And that's one of the realities I have to accept right now. And I have to be transparent about it, and I have to be blunt about it, and I have to declare it, you know, which is, I want the channel to grow. I have to say it, because if I don't say it, then I never quite commit to what it means to make the channel grow. You know, I do have to make changes. I have to commit to schedules. I have to, this has to go faster. Naruto has to go faster. And for me to do that, crossing into this year, I forget what vlog it was, and I've had sleep issues for a couple months now, and so I sleep like maybe 4 to 6 hours a night, 5 on average, 5.5, but I'll wake up after 5 hours, I just can't sleep again, and so I watch things for 2 or 3 hours. I heard something, I don't know where, because it all turns into this subconscious memory stuff, half dreams and crap like that, and so one of them was someone saying that you can do 3 things, and there's like people who always want to do and start new things, and that's of course me. That's very evidently me, but it's the comment they were making is like, okay, but then like you have this new other thing that comes up and you really want to do it. That's cool. I'm excited for you. So which of the other 3 things, which one of those other 3 things are you going to give up to bring in this new thing? Because you can only have 3. You know what I mean? Like you can only have 3. And for me, it's like, no, but I have 7 or 8. Sometimes I have more, right? It's like, no. You can have 3. So you have to start killing whatever is not the priority right now until you have 3. And that made me, on the turn of this year, it really made me look at the list. I made a list and I went, okay, let's just try this. It hurts because some of these projects I've been doing for over 10 years, you know, but I piecemeal here, piecemeal there, because none of them really need, I mean, except for my comic books, like those ones, like I committed because I had, that one had to get done. It did get done. They got crowdfunded, but I wanted to crowdfund again. I want to complete some of the comic projects I have in production. And some of them are like, they're so close to being done, but I got these other things I'm doing. I could do 3 things, you know? And so if I were to pick those 3 things, which would they be? And then this idea keeps hovering and fighting for that 3rd position, you know? And And right now, like, I want it to be a reaction channel, and it can spread out, but I know that that's not the way to approach this. It's just not for YouTube nowadays. It's not the way to do it. And as much as I would like to explore more content and more types of stuff, I have to finish Naruto. I do. This is a personal objective of mine. It was a challenge, not objective. It was a challenge, right? It's just a fun thing I wanted to do. But it started years ago. It did. And it's never left my mind, and it's something that I really want to commit to. And then if I commit to it, then I can see what it means to the channel, and then I can take the next steps. I mean, and hopefully it means channel growth, and with the channel growth, the community can then also, the input from the community will help me take that next step onto the next type of content that I'll bring to the channel, and then we'll explore it. Or if Naruto doesn't work, I got to be willing to let it go and try something else, but then really commit to that something else. And then maybe come back to Naruto later on, whatever the case might be. But I can't be in these states and flipping between the type of content. I need to commit to something for the audience that comes for that thing, And I learned that with this channel when I brought Steins Gate to the channel. And it was an immediate impact. I could see the impact in the audience, in the subscriber base. I could just see it. And you'd have to be a content creator to know what I'm talking about. There's just enough data where you look at it and you go, well, that didn't land. And like, could I have kept going and then it could have morphed the channel and it could have become a visual novel channel? Sure, right? Sure. You just grow it in that way and then it morphs. But then if it morphs, is it ever going to be a Naruto channel, like a Naruto story analysis reaction channel? It might never be. And how do I know that? Well, because I've done that to the other channels in my library of channels. I had 10 on the go as of the end of last year, something like that. So I just had to. I had to nuke them. I had to nuke them, and it's just a hard decision to make because they took me time. Of course, I was throwing away time, not just channels, And I don't like to do that because it's effort I put out there. But here's the thing: sometimes the effort doesn't land, and if I keep thinking about the effort I put out there that I have to throw away, I'm never going to create new. I'm never going to put new effort into something new that could pop off, could make it, could reach the right audience. And so I want to be able to free up my time and my mental commitment. I have to create some new runways to take off from, and not get so bogged down or like weighed down by the baggage of the past. So a little bit of a ramble here, just because the channel is dead the way it's set right now. Like I believe you can all see unlisted content like this. Even unlisted playlists. If you go into the playlist section, you can't search for these though. And what else? I think you can still, you can't even search for the comments. If you've commented on any of these in the past, you can't search by comments on your side. They've also removed that. I believe you used to be able to do that, but not anymore. And then if I private them, they're just nuked. You can't find them at all anywhere. But unlisted, if you have the link to these videos or to the playlist, you can access all of these in the playlist. And I think that's one way to do it, so that when you're on the homepage, like what I need this to look like again, is I need to have the homepage have videos that I publish to the audience. So it's like there's publish, unlisted, and then private. And unlisted means they never appear here. And so there's a way for me to upload old archive content that doesn't end up bothering you all on your subscriber feed and stuff like that, right? Like you won't see this stuff, but I can still create the libraries in the playlists so that they're there for people who discover the channel and then want to go see the old archive stuff. Why I'm calling this archive at this point is because I have a new, I believe I have a new way I want to do these going forward, and they're not going to match the old way because I've learned so many different things along the years. Now I could keep doing them the same way, but they're not getting the kind of push that I really feel like they could get, and I just have to change something about the way I produce them, and I have to be a lot more cognizant and a lot more active about really keeping a mission statement in mind, which is to grow the channel. I can't just think that it would be a great thing if it grew. No, I would like to grow the channel. This is just a declarative statement. I didn't end up saying like what the problem is that I'm facing right now with why the 1 to 33 are gone. I'm going all over the place. It's that in another curse of my experience with reactions. Like there's music in the background while I'm talking there in the vlog sections. So that music used to be public domain. Can you see where this is going? And I was re-uploading the episodes 1 to 33 and just creating an archive there. Unlisted, so I wasn't bothering those subscribers. I was doing it kind of ninja stealth mode. But as I was doing that public domain song that's underneath all of these videos when I'm talking, there's a studio that now manages that music for the artist, and that music is no longer public domain. So guess what happened to all of my Naruto videos? That's right, they got copyright claims and they got country blockers. And these are getting detected as I upload now, which means I can't use that music anymore, which has now put me in a predicament where I was thinking like I'm just gonna put this all back online and we're gonna keep going with a new way, and I'll have a vlog like this. I can talk to the community out there, and we'll just move forward, you know. But it put me in this predicament where I had to I'm like, well, I'm gonna lose all of this content, and I'm gonna go back to the very thing that cursed me in 2018, 2019, 2020. You know, which is just constantly navigating things that are out of my control. And I hate it. I do hate it. So I kind of re-uploaded this one. And again, this is in unlisted mode right now. So you don't really see me having to fill in these gaps. But what I've had to do is I've had to go back into the archive collection episodes. Now, those who got to catch it when it was when it was fresh and new over the last 3 to 4 years, then you got that first experience, you know. But for those who are going to catch up in and get us to down here, because I haven't put these public yet, I have to re-edit all of these up into episode 71 into collection episodes in order to use this other AI tool that removes the music from the audio. It splits the two tracks, and then I can delete the music from the audio, because I don't have the raw files of these projects anymore. You know what I mean? So I have to use all these like workarounds in order to preserve this, because the completionist in me doesn't want to just start on episode 72. Because it's just like, I could do that. I could just move forward. And for the newcomers who find the channel, they're going to have episode 72. Now, do I think that that's going to meet the acceptance criteria of the mission statement of growing the channel? No. I think that people who come to the channel want to be able to find how some of them will want to find out where things started, you know. There are some who just come for the hot spots, right? Like this one right here is 517 views here, which is like 200-300 views higher than average on the other views. So obviously something happened here. Is the Gara episode, that one gets a spike, right? And sometimes that happens where people discover the channel because of the spikes, right? We got a 430 over here, a failure stands tall, right? We know that that's of course an important episode, right? The Rock Lee one, and all these memories are so good. Look at this one, the Gara and Rock Lee fight. Of course that one got a bunch of newcomers, a 562 view pull right here, a 755 on the Rock Lee one again, a 661. Like there was a huge spike there on the Rock Lee and Gara fight. Like this was a huge pull for the newcomers, and that really gave me hope that I could, like, this series still has lags, man. I need to approach this in a way that allows me to move forward in a much more consistent fashion. And what do I mean? I might as well get into what do I mean by that. I'm going to finish uploading the last collection videos here. I might have to do the same process on all the rest of the next 40 episodes. So I put them into bundles. I don't want to lose these videos because of that goddamn copyright blocker bullshit on the music that's underneath my speaking. I really hate that happened. So I don't know what to do, folks. But I do want to move forward. I'm afraid of creating gaps here. I really am. But maybe I take the risk and we just see what happens. And if those scenarios happen, then I can recut them and re-upload them. And it'd be annoying, sure, but I can upload them unlisted and they won't bother people in their sub feeds, you know, and I'll just reorder the playlist so that newcomers will have access to the full playlist. That's the best I can do. I'm hitting almost a 30-minute mark here. And so I'm not sure I have much more to say. This is just kind of like to touch base with folks who have been through a couple iterations of this XEI Reacts or variants of it, Naruto delve, manga delve, and a manga, which XEI Reaction, XEI Watch and Talk. What else have I had? So those are the ones I can think of that were reaction attempts in the last 5 years. Have any of you been to, and do you recall which ones you would have joined at? I guess that'd be a fun question to ask at the end of something like this. For those of you who made it all the way to the end of this, you're troopers. Do you remember which one you might have joined in? I'll try to give you them in continuity order, but this is it's going to be near impossible for me to remember exactly, but I would say somewhere around the 2018-19 was XEI Reacts. Then it became XEI Watch and Talk. Then it became XEI Reactions. That was about the 2020 era, 2021. 2020 would have been Manga Delve, might have been where these started, along with the manga reads and whatnot. Manga Delve, then that's when I pulled everything into a variety channel, and XEI Gaming became Infinite Lives. And then Infinite Lives broke apart after a year, 2021 or so. I believe I released this content on Naruto Delve. It was just going to be a Naruto channel, and then Naruto Delve morphed into Animanga, which is this channel's original name. And then Animanga turned into XEI Wave, name subject to change, when I was thinking of bringing visual novels into this, as well as the manga reads. So I believe that's the order of events. Might I have missed one? I'm not sure. Do you remember if you would have caught the Naruto series in any one of those channels? Let me know. I'm just curious to see. Honestly, how many people are still around from the hijinks, the chaos of the years. I don't expect many people to have stuck around, but this is a channel where, again, I could just restart everything, but I've already done that like 10 to 20 times in the last 4 years. And I've gotten a lot of, I've got reasons to believe that that's not the good approach. That's not a good approach. It would be nice to have a clean start and stuff like that, but YouTube's algorithm definitely doesn't give new channels the same breadth of reach as if you have like some history on the channel. Like you don't have any strikes for years. Like I'm sure that it matters behind the scenes, because I noticed that when I just change the name of a channel and then re-upload to it, even if it's dead, it'll within 3 to 7 days, the pulse comes back. You know what I mean? And so I feel like this is the place to do it in, because most of the people who are here for Naruto you've subscribed here for Naruto. There might be a couple of you out there, if you've gotten this far and you came here because of the manga delves, the manga reads and stuff like that. Let me know. I'm actually curious about that too. I'm not sure where that stuff is going to go, but it's not going to be here. This is only going to be reaction content now. And very specifically, it's going to be anime reaction content for now. And then we'll see what happens a year from now or something like that. I'm very likely going to put more time into this channel than the XEI Gaming channel at this point, because of the comments I made earlier in this vlog. The gaming, I love it. I would still love to do it, but I think that needs to be the hobby channel, and this one needs to be the one that I pump my time into and treat part-time job-ish, the full-time job-ish momentum. We'll see what that means, and let's get through Naruto. You know, the first 200 episodes, we'll see what this means. I guess, I mean, this is going long enough, and again, if people have gotten this far, again, like, you're going to get a lot of behind-the-scenes information, because I'll probably kill this video after, I don't know, 1 week or 1 month, depending on how the pacing of this goes, right? But you probably have one of those Inspector Gadget messages right now, like this message is going to delete in 30 days, that kind of thing. Not 30 seconds, but anyway, so that's a very old reference. I'm sure not many of you have no idea what I'm talking about. What was I going to say? Oh, that I want to create something kind of like milestones, like achievement awards. And that's kind of a way to motivate me, but also it gamifies the experience a little bit for everybody who drops into the channel and wants to contribute in whatever way that might mean. But I don't have the details worked out on what it's going to mean, but it's going to be something like based on some engagement algorithmy kind of thing that I create on the side. When those things get met, then I add episodes to the run. Now, when that goes down, then I start to consider, with the help of the community, a pivot. It means that, the community, like, it just means that the channel itself is not going to go any further with, like, the momentum of staying on the series. Like, the series needs to contribute enough engagement so that I can feel like the channel is on a course for growth. It has to be that. Otherwise, I'm going to pivot. And we're just going to have to make that decision together, hopefully. Like, you get the questions in the post. They might be votes or whatever the case might be. And I'm going to leave it to the people who are engaged on the channel, right? To be able to vote and move this channel in a direction that feels like it could make it grow. I need this thing to grow. I want it for my own challenge, but I have long-term plans, like even 3 years from now, there's going to be I hit a pretty decent age milestone where I need to know where my YouTube hobby is and where a potential legitimate side hustle begins, because I would need to I would like to make a serious life decision in those next 5 years after 3 years. So I'm basically saying that I'm willing to commit 3 years to seeing something happen here. But it needs to feel like it's happening. Does that make sense? And I have more than enough information that guides me over the last 3 years of studying that I've done across ninja channels. This likely went way longer than it had to. I'll try to cut this into something that's reasonable for those of you stuck around to get this message. I obviously have nothing to show except a new banner that I designed and a new icon logo thing. Still has the wings, so the whole Raven-ish kind of feeling is still baked into there. And we're going back to the very original name because it's symbolic. It's symbolic, and I feel like this is where I need to go. This is where I want to go, and this is what I want to do, and I want to figure out next. Like I said, I don't think XEI gaming is what I'm going to figure out next. That's been given, I'm almost on 10 years there, and I think it's good. It was a good run. It's a good run, and I don't think it really makes sense to do what my gut instinct at the turn of the year was just to fold it all in again and just keep archive libraries on XEI Gaming and still treat it like a gaming channel as a primary channel. But every other kind of content would just be there unlisted for people who went and found the playlist, and then they could watch the playlist. But the content itself would not be merged in with the gaming content. But I've been putting my time back into gaming, and I love the gaming part of it. I even love part of the production of it, but it's just not landing, and I have to tap out. I have to tap out and try something new, and this is where I want to go. This is the stuff I think about more than anything else. It's this and manga delve, to be honest. Being able to read manga and share those manga read experiences with folks. I just don't think these things mash. And so it goes back to the comment. I could do 3 things. And I got 2 of them that are locked in. I have to do them because there's like financial commitments, I can do 1 more thing. And I mean like a legitimate like contribution of time. I think it's going to be XEI Reacts. So I hope you're here for the journey. If you're not, then unsubscribe, and that's cool, right? And maybe in the future I'm doing something that brings you back. You want to chill and hang out and watch me react to some stuff that you can vicariously re-experience. And I just want to have a vibe around here. I want to portray that vibe clearly. I want to be posting. Probably episodes will be like 2 episodes each, like 2 episodes in 1 episode, that kind of thing. And then when we go through the filler content, it might be 3 episodes just so we can ramp through that. And because maybe I'll have less to say because they're filler content, I'm not sure. When I get there, I'll know more. I'll feel it. I feel like I'll feel it, and we'll talk about it, and we'll just smash them together more. And if I can get every episode up to the 45-minute to 1 hour mark, we'll see what fits in that, and that's what you're all going to get. And we're going to try to post hopefully Monday, Wednesday, Friday is already what I have scheduled. So you'll effectively be getting 6 episodes minimum a week until we get into that zone. You know it. I don't know it. I still haven't seen the list. Don't share it with me. Don't. We'll find out when I'll find out when I find out. But you could get anywhere from 6 to 9 episodes a week. That sound right to all of you, or good? Does that sound good to all of you? And then if you have any other suggestions, leave them down below, and we'll go from there. I have a plan to at least 100. And then at 100, that's a pretty solid milestone with Naruto. And I'll see what y'all are thinking. We'll see how this channel's doing. We'll put a finger on the pulse. And then we'll make some decisions going forward. But that is that's my goal. I'm going to be focusing the rest of my February into getting a backlog ready for this relaunch. This is effectively a relaunch, obviously. That's why I had to change the banner and the logo. I just want this to feel like it's going to be going in a new direction, even though if you're here for the Naruto content, it's going nowhere really new for all of you. The production of the videos are going to change. I'm working on what that looks like. So if you have any recommendations, you can leave them in this comment here, this post right here, where I just talk about some of the stuff that I discovered along the way in these channels right here. There's 3 of them that I found in that Grok AI brainstorming, and I thought they were cool. I think there's some new reaction channels out there that are doing things in a neat way that I don't really remember experiencing back 7 years ago when I didn't like reaction content. So we'll see if I can jimmy my way into the community of reactors out there, especially people who really love story and nerding out around the discussion of these kinds of things. I feel like that is absolutely the only way I can go with this. I just hope that I'm able to carve a space out there in the YouTube sphere of anime reactions and just general reactions maybe in the future. We'll see, but we're going to stick to Naruto for now. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging out for this. I don't know, it's probably a 30-minute episode for all of you. And I'll catch you when the Naruto episodes start uploading again. Catch you there. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, buddy. Peace.